Dense fog advisory is finally coming to an end right now after they were extended. We saw plenty of fog, as you see on our time lapse from our Turfway Park cam. Thankfully, things are starting to shape up into a pretty good day, good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. We had no really big issues out there on the roads, thankfully, this morning, outside of just a few of your normal Monday morning slowdowns. We're looking forward to a mostly dry afternoon as we get used to these warmer temperatures. We'll see a little bit of fog tomorrow morning as well, but really we're just getting started with the warm air here around the tri-state. If you have any questions about this forecast, we'll go ahead and address those throughout the live stream, but let's go ahead and just talk about what you could expect in your week ahead in weather, which another foggy start for some tomorrow. I'm not seeing it as widespread tomorrow because we have some more clouds coming back into the area as soon as tonight. So that'll help, but then also we just got to keep in mind, especially the open fields, the waterways. A little bit of dense fog can't be ruled out. So Wednesday, that is when things are going to start to shift a little bit. We're tracking a little bit in the way of rain. It's mainly just going to be a windy and warm day. Highs are going to near 70 degrees. It's going to feel more like late April rather than late February for sure. And then because we're talking about late April-like temperatures, we also have to talk about late April-like storms. Can't rule out something strong for Thursday. Yes, we talked about it over this past weekend, the potential for storms in general, but now the chance for something strong, maybe severe, can't be ruled out too. So one more time, looking at the Turfway Park time lapse, dense fog really pushed on through the tri-state earlier today, and they had a dense fog advisory issued last night up until 10, but they actually extended it all the way until noon, so just about 2 minutes ago. Those advisories have been allowed to expire because while we are seeing the clouds, we're not necessarily seeing the fog anymore. It's 42 here in Cincinnati. That is normal for or at least relatively normal for a typical daytime high for February 16th, but it feels like 37 with a slight breeze coming in from the south. And the southerly winds are really what's going to help us get back into the 50s today, 60s tomorrow, near 70 on Wednesday. Those winds are really going to be what steers the weather pattern over the next few days. So other temperatures right now, we're at 46 there in Batesville, 48s down in Vevey and Owenton. Our warmest spots are those two. Not too far away in Pendleton County, 39 degrees right now, and up 75 towards Middletown, also at 39 degrees right now. We're picking up on those clouds. It's mainly a filtered look to the sun sort of day, so not necessarily really cloudy, but not necessarily sunny either. We have high pressure just nestled east of the tri-state, so with that comes that breeze from the south, and with that comes in warmer temperatures. Back into the middle 50s today. Yesterday we hit a high of 48 degrees. We will be warmer today, back near 56, partly cloudy skies. Again, no rain in today's forecast. Just a nice little foggy start to the day, leading into a spring-like afternoon. Again, the average is about 44. We'll be at least 10 degrees above that. For your evening plans tonight, expect temperatures to be dropping pretty quickly as the sun sets, just because we're not hanging on to really thick clouds necessarily. So back by 8 in the middle 40s, low 40s by 11. And we're waking up tomorrow morning in the middle 30s. Again, fog is going to be in the forecast. It's not for everybody, but just mainly the area waterways, but also the open fields and things of that nature. Some of us will drop to the freezing point, others will not. It depends on the cloud cover, of course, and with that, maybe some icy spots out there, but it's not a hard freeze necessarily. I'm not too concerned about icy conditions heading outside for tomorrow morning, as I am the potential for some fog in spots. It's also going to be chilly. Just a reminder, it is February. It'll feel like it in the morning tomorrow, temps in the middle 30s. Now the afternoon tomorrow going to be a lot warmer than today, back in the 60s. With that filtered sunshine, a nice breeze from the south, we are able to see and tap into more April-like temperatures. And as we get kind of used to these temperatures, it's a visible sign that warmer temps are on the way. We have these foggy starts. We saw it this morning, widespread dense fog, that first alert weather day. Now tomorrow we're picking up on the opportunity for some dense fog. It's not looking as widespread, but of course that is entirely dependent on the cloud cover, which this morning we had little to no clouds. And so everybody saw the dense fog. Tomorrow morning, again, dependent on the cloud cover, you could be looking at a really dense, foggy morning once again. But area waterways, open fields, things like that will always see fog as we see warmer temperatures. So We are going to be issuing a first alert weather day for Thursday because that is our next chance for some strong to severe storms. And whenever we have the possibility for severe weather during the month of February or during any winter month for that matter, we always want to give people that heads up that this is something that you absolutely want to be mindful of. Severe weather can happen, and it does happen in every single month out of the year. Doesn't matter what the temperatures are, really. It just matters on what's pulling on through. And that's what we're seeing for Thursday. We'll unpack that risk in a second. Let's talk about Wednesday a little bit more because that's going to be the warmest day this week. 68 your forecast high after a morning only in the low 50s. I know, it's going to feel a little bit more like late April than it will late February. And then as we step into your Thursday, that's when we start to pick up on the chance for some of those stronger afternoon storms. Still tracking just afternoon active weather. Most of your Thursday is not looking too bad at all. In fact, temps are going to be back in the middle 60s. The other side to that is going to be that serves as storm fuel for any of those thunderstorms later on in the afternoon and into the evening. Notice that Wednesday is going to be breezy, and so that's really what's going to kick those temperatures up near 70 degrees. These winds are going to be gusting in the morning here, up to 30 miles an hour. Up to 40 miles an hour for the afternoon from the south, and so that's really what's going to be pumping on in those temperatures in the 60s, near 70 for Wednesday and for Thursday. Severe weather risk, we're under a slight risk, most of the tri-state. Underneath of that, in fact, most of southern Illinois, Indiana, most of Kentucky also underneath is slight risk. This would be for some strong wind gusts, severe wind gusts, so up to and surpassing 60 mile per hour wind gusts. This is going to be with any thunderstorms that we see on Thursday, particularly in the late afternoon into your evening. So here's what it looks like. We'll start with Tuesday. The weather timeline here. Clouds are going to thicken. You're not going to see the rain though really until Wednesday. It's a small little chance here and there. It's mainly northwest of Cincinnati. You saw it a second ago, and then we'll start to clear out a little bit. Now as we walk into your Thursday, notice that most of your Thursday, let's start with the morning. We got rain off to the west, rain off to the south, but it really doesn't start to arrive here in the tri-state until the middle to the late of the afternoon. But of course, that's not exactly the best thing because we are able to see temperatures warming back up into the middle 60s as a result. So this is where you're looking at right here. That is my concern for anything strong to severe. I know it's going to be after the sun sets. It's going to be a nocturnal setup. You may or may not be asleep at this time, but have several ways to receive your weather alerts. Our main concern going to be those strong to severe wind gusts. But of course, with any severe threat during the winter months, anything is going to be on the table as well. So that includes hail, that includes localized flooding with heavy rain, and then also includes the potential for some tornadoes. And then we roll into your Friday, things are looking better, a little bit of a chance for rain in the morning, that's it. And then we step into your Saturday, a little chance of a morning shower, and that's it. Your Saturday's dried up a lot in the most recent model runs, and that's the good news here. Mainly just eyeing Thursday is the biggest impact here, but we have chances on Wednesday and a little chance on Friday morning too. Highest rainfall totals look like they're going to be nearing 1.5 inches in some parts of the tri-state. I think most of us will be anywhere from about 1/2 to 1 inch of rainfall. This is including Wednesday, Thursday, and a little bit into Friday morning as well. You can see we're kind of eyeing the northern part of the tri-state for those higher rainfall totals between 1 and 2 inches. And then we'll be tracking another weather maker next week. But of course, we'll have a better idea on how that's going to behave once we get through this week and this weather maker in particular. So we're looking like spring, and then we're also getting closer to it too. 20 days until daylight saving time begins. So we're going to lose an hour technically of sleep. And then St. Patrick's Day just under a month away, and spring will begin just over a month away. 32 days from today, spring will technically begin. An astronomical spring. Meteorological spring starts on March 1st. But if you look at this, spring technically, it basically starts tomorrow. Not really, but it feels like it. Temperatures are going to be in the low 60s for Tuesday. That is at least 10 degrees above normal, if not close to 15. Highs near 70 on Wednesday, nearly or more than 20 degrees above normal for that time of year, this time of year. And with that comes the chance for some storms. I know Wednesday and Thursday have the same icon. There's a chance of a rumble of thunder on Wednesday, a small chance of showers too, but then Thursday, that's when we're really seeing the chance for showers and storms. I'll show you the difference here in a second. Friday, a little bit of morning rain, cooling off throughout the day. Temperatures dropping from the middle 50s into the 30s overnight into your Saturday. So your weekend ahead, while it's going to be looking mostly dry from what I'm seeing right now, it is going to be cooler, more February-like. It's not going to be bitterly cold in the afternoons, but you will need a few layers, especially in the mornings and in the evenings, with those temperatures dropping below freezing once again. And then we are seeing signs of another warm-up stepping into the rest of that 10-day forecast. Let me show you the difference between Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, look, 30% of chance there on Wednesday that you'll catch a shower, maybe a rumble of thunder, whereas Thursday, it's about a 70% chance. Greater concerns in Thursday's forecast for severe weather, though it's a very low and isolated risk, it is still there. And then we just have more coverage in the forecast. It's more likely you'll see the rain, you'll see the thunderstorms on Thursday. And as a result, those overnight lows are not going to get too cold too. That's the good news. We're not dropping below freezing for a good chunk of time. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, even Saturday morning as well, not dropping below freezing. So I'm not too concerned about slick spots or refreeze, anything like that, until we start approaching next weekend, the second half of it. And that's when we start to settle back into a normal February pattern, which includes those freezing cold overnight temps. Okay, here's your first alert extended forecast. This morning was a first alert weather day because of that fog that has since lifted. Temperatures are going to be nearing the middle 50s this afternoon with a little bit of sun, filtered sun. And overnight into Tuesday, we're going to be tracking the return of the 30s. Temperatures only warming up into the low 60s that afternoon. And then Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, it's going to be breezy. We have a few showers in the forecast, mainly north of Cincinnati. Temperatures are going to be warm, nearing 70 degrees that afternoon. It's also going to be, it's breezy. I said that, but don't forget it. Thursday, a chance for some stronger afternoon storms. Most of the day up until the afternoon is going to be dry, but 64 degrees. Chance for something strong, maybe something severe as well. Now Friday morning, a little bit of rain in that forecast. Whatever is left over from Thursday night's action will be affecting that Friday morning commute, but I'm not tracking anything in the way of snow or ice or anything like that. Don't worry about it. And then temperature is going to be falling throughout the afternoon, middle 50s for Friday afternoon, waking up near freezing on Saturday. The FC Cincinnati home opener is on Saturday, and that forecast has not changed. Just a slim rain chance, mainly in the morning. Afternoon temperatures in the middle 40s, and we're going to hang on to the 40s for the next few days out of that 10-day forecast, stepping into next week with mostly sunny skies. Okay, let's see if we have any questions coming on in. JD is tuning in. What is the weather for Canton tomorrow morning? How am I doing? It was 4D today. Yeah, we're near 40 right now. Canton tomorrow morning going to be a little bit on the colder side, not as cold as we're normally at. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm doing well. Thank you. Anna's tuning in. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. You too, Anna. Thank you, as always, for tuning on in. Let's talk a little bit more about what the final days of February are going to look at, because I can't believe we're talking about that. The 8 to 14 day temp outlook, this map really hasn't changed, and that just means we're still eyeing warmer than average temperatures for Cincinnati. So that could mean some warmer overnights, that could mean some warmer daytime highs, or it could just mean a little tiny bit more heat here and there. On average, will be above normal. And then for precip, typically when we see near normal precip or slightly above normal paired with the above normal temps, we're typically looking at rain. I've been talking about it for the last few weeks, and the rest of February doesn't look like it's going to budge from that pattern anytime soon. Okay, time now is 12:14. I am not seeing any other questions coming on in, so we're going to go ahead and sign off of here. We'll have the latest information about Thursday, which is now a first alert weather day because of the potential for something strong to severe. Meteorologist Brad Mousehart will have the latest information for you guys, the timing, the threats, the totals, everything that you need to know ahead of the storm. That's all coming up this afternoon on Fox 19 now at 3. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great rest of your Monday.